Roy, one of the things that you've talked a lot about is the idea that everybody needs a coach. And you were blessed to have a coach early on in your life who helped you identify your talents at a very early age. Can you talk a little bit more about what that story was and who that coach was for you early on?
I always tell people, y'all remember cursive? And everybody laughs. And I said, I was in the 8th grade and I was studying Emerson in Brownwood High School. And Emerson's my favorite, by the way, because his great concept, don't go where the path may lead, go where there's no path and leave a trail. I started learning that when I was 14 years old. I didn't know what it meant. But anyway, I turned in the paper. I still have it somewhere. I had 8 misspelled words. This is 8th grade. Big C minus, red. I go home to my little house in Brownwood, and I'm thinking this is not going to be celebrated at my house. C minus, but Mom didn't say anything. So I went out and played football and didn't give a damn about school. And next year, I'm studying Emerson again. And I go to my mom, I'm crying, and I say, Mom, I can't turn in the paper. She said, do the best you can. I turned it in. I didn't have 8 misspelled words. I had 11. And the whole paper was red. Circles of misspelled words. And at the top, John, there was a tiny A minus. I still have it. And I went home. I said, Mom, I don't get it. And she said, well, first of all, son, you can't spell. And then she smiled and said, but I called your teacher, and I remember her name 60 years later. I called your teacher, Mrs. Levacy, and she said, your son can't spell, but he can write. And she looks at me, puts her arm around me, my mom. I'm 14 or 13, whatever. And she says, I don't want you to spend another second of your life trying to be average at what you're bad at. I want you to spend the rest of your life becoming great at what you did. I didn't know what she meant back then, John. I know exactly what she means. It's called strengths. And part of what I'm doing, the reason I'm doing the Make It movement, is that I think we can change, I really do, the whole culture of education in America through marketing, by the way. And I think we've got to inspire teachers and principals and counselors and kids and parents. Don't beat the kids up on what they're not good at. Now, if it's a character issue, that's different. But discover what they're good at when they're in middle school and let them become great at that. So that's the story of my strength finders. My mom told me, I don't want you to spend another second of your life being average at what you're bad at.